Shalom everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat parashat Pekudei. We're finishing off Humash Shmot. It's the second Humash we're finishing since the beginning of this war. Humash Bereshit, the foundations of Am Yisrael. And now Humash Shmot, transforming from being a family of 70 people that went down to Egypt, into becoming a nation. First, actually becoming a nation. Hine Am Bnei Yisrael. The first one to recognize that. As often in history was Pharaoh. Our enemies often they identified things about us way before we realize that we've turned into a nation. We've got a mission as a nation. So we become a nation, and that nation goes out to the desert and receives the content, the mission, what are we meant to be. Already Avraham Avinu, years earlier, was told, "Ve'escha legoy gadol v'nivrechu becha kol mishpachot ha'adama, mevarcha baruch u'mikalelcha ha'or." We're meant to be a blessing to the world. People who join, bless us, will be blessed. People who come out against us will be cursed. Look throughout history. Often people feel that they're on top of things because they're fighting against the Jews. Later on in history, the way we remember history, those who were with us are better remembered. And after we receive Matan Torah, receive the content, what we're about, we go on to start appearing in the world, creating an actual appearance of God in the world. It's meant to happen. It starts in the desert, in the Mishkan. It's meant to be later on in Beit HaMikdash. But not only there, Psukim taught us, "V'asuli Mishkan v'shachanti betocham." God dwells inside of us, and we need to appear as a nation, as the Jewish nation, as Am Yisrael. We're meant to be the way that God appears in the world. And 3,000 years of history since then show us the way God leads history through the different stages of Am Yisrael, what we go through, what happens to us. And in many ways we need to remember the same as we just read in the last few parashiyot, this week's parashat, last week's parashat, about all of the different crafts that had to be done just in order to create the Mishkan. It was just a very temporary stage, but the Torah goes into a lot of detail. And every person has got what he's in charge of, what he has to do, the special aspects that he can add on to things. And we need to learn that there's a great goal. There's amazing stuff we're going to do for the world, way beyond whatever was in history. Am Yisrael, when we manage to live up to what we should live up to, when we manage to live up to the mission we got from the Torah, according to the way the Torah tells us to do it, the blessing we will bring to the world is way better than the fact of all the different technological things we've added on and things we've given the world. Way beyond that. We're going to turn the world into a place where people live a good, meaningful life. That's what it's about. Nothing less than that. That's where we're going. But on the way there are a lot of small jobs, sometimes very tiring, sometimes we're far away from the final goal and we're just creating a stage on the way there, and we need to learn to do our job. Remember where we're going. Remember what it's about. The whole story of Purim, we're getting close to celebrating again, is about a generation that didn't want to do that. They were happy where they were. They didn't want to move forward when things allowed them to move forward. There was an option. First comment Rashi, one of the first comments Rashi says on Megillat Esther, on the words Hu Achashverosh, who is this Achashverosh? Tells us Melech Paras shemalach achei Koresh. Koresh allowed Am Yisrael to return to Eretz Yisrael, built Beit HaMikdash. We could have been on the way back, but everyone was comfortable where they were. No one wanted to move. No one wanted to change. People didn't want to do what they meant to be doing. And then, okay, the whole story of Purim occurs, it happens, and people are slightly pushed. And also after Purim, it pushes another whole chunk of people forward. But still many people in Am Yisrael remain where they were, how they were, don't move themselves forward, and it takes many years, many years. And we need to remember, in our generation, we're in an amazing generation. So many things changing. And there's so many things to be involved in, but we need to remember, each person, remember what the goal is. Remember what Am Yisrael is about. Remember where we're going. It's so clear nowadays that it's pure good against pure bad. That's what the battle is all about. And we're going to create the good. We're leading it forward. But in order to do that, each one has to do his job. Each one has to do his job. Sometimes it's glorious. Sometimes it's amazing. Often it's just another small job on the way. And I don't know why, but for some reason nowadays, and I'm assuming it's been that way for many years in history, the really important jobs, either people don't see them all together, or even when they see them and they want to speak about them, they speak about the side aspects of them, not about what's really happening over there, what the actual meaning of things is. But we know we're moving forward. We see the progress in Am Yisrael. It's so clear over the last couple of years to see how we're moving forward. It's a long journey, but each one of us, we're going to do what we have to do. We're going to move forward. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov.